I guess since Brett brought it up, did trip Sydney at the border, and did Chase have the same problem?
Chase did not have the same problem. City just had some visa issues, student visa issues. He had to get some signatures that he didn't have, so they stopped him. They put a hold on his passport and let him travel for a little while. If you know Sydney, you know how frustrated that made him. But glad he's here. You know, it's obvious that he took care of himself while he was away. Jumped right into workouts and hasn't really missed a beat.
I guess as a coach, when you get, I don't know, a phone call, it's like, they stopped me at the border. Like, what do you know, not much you can do in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do, right? Other than trying to get the necessary paperwork done and really trying to get him to calm down and not be too frustrated with the situation. It was out of his control at that point. And then I had no issues with or worry of him not doing the right things. Like, you know, if you know Sydney, he loves working out. He loves taking care of his body. I don't know if you guys saw the Top Gun video he put out. So he looked like he was doing his work while he was away. So we're just glad to have him back.
What has you guys so excited about him going into your second year with him?
I just think, you know, just seeing how comfortable he is with the culture, with the playbook, and just seeing him really flourish and grow and start to figure out, you know, when he can take chances and when he can't. You know, he's a guy that goes 100 miles an hour no matter what the situation is, and just him being comfortable and confident in pulling the trigger. You guys hear me say that all the time. There's nobody that does it like Sid, and it's just good for the rest of the group to feed off of his play, feed off of his energy. And, you know, I think the steps that he's making from a maturity standpoint and being a leader out there as well will be vital in our success defensively this fall.
Coach, you had some significant losses, graduation and the NFL draft. How are you feeling about the depth on the defensive side, and were you able to establish some guys in the spring?
Yeah, I think, you know, some guys definitely stepped up. We talked about at the outside backer position with Seth and Zeke, and then adding, you know, the more guys to that room. You know, I feel like we're actually deeper than we were a year ago. Obviously, we haven't played it down that matters yet with this group, but those guys are working the right way, and it's good to see those guys sort of step up and be leaders in that room. You know, the departure of Kirby was a good one, right? Like, a guy did what he was supposed to do and made plays for us and was able to get drafted in those top 3 rounds. And so now it's just other guys' turn to step up and make plays. I don't expect to see that production from any one player in particular, but I think as a whole defensively, just having another year in the system and being confident going into the season, you know, we should be able to have, you know, similar production as a whole.
The combo of Sydney and Quan back there, what does that give you? Even though you lost Kirby, it seems like you're excited about both of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Just they operate and they work the right way, in the way you want them to work, and, you know, they're holding each other accountable, holding the group accountable, and their confidence is at an all-time high. If you look back to where we were this time a year ago, you know, those guys, it's just fun to see them work, and that's exactly what they do.
I have 2 comments on the breakout here for you guys last year. How much more of a step do you think you can take now coming into the season?
Yeah, I think all those guys can take a step. Just, you know, I think that the importance of going through and learning and having experience from a year ago, and you carry that into the, you know, the similar system, same system. You start to dive into the problem plays and things that hurt you maybe from a year ago, both as a unit and as an individual, right? And so I think those types of things, you'll just be more consistent, more confident, and as a result, you know, hopefully we'll make more plays.
And I wonder, as your perspective as a defensive guy about Barry's offense, how does it stress you? How does it challenge you as a defensive player?
Yeah, well, it makes you play with all 11 players on the field, and every play has the same look and different play variations off of it, and so you really got to have your eyes in the right spot. You got to play with good technique, and that ball comes out fast, and they get lined up fast. So definitely puts stress on you, playing and play out.
How do you approach the June camp season, especially the two that you had here, Ryan? Do you revert back to when you were a young player and what you wanted to see when you went to college games?
Well, for us, when we get to high school camps, it's more evaluation, so you try to get them in situations to showcase their athletic ability and also put stress on them, in terms of giving them instruction and seeing if they can carry it through. And then you get a chance to watch them compete in one-on-ones or 7-on-7s. Those are huge evaluators for us because they're in person and they're live, and you get to see or confirm or learn from things that you saw on tape from those prospects.
Coaches, who do you see picking up their numbers as far as hurries and sacks, especially from the outside at that outside linebacker spot?
I think all of them should pick up. That we don't want anybody to stay stagnant or be satisfied with their play a year ago. So I think just as a whole, that group is going to get better just because there's another year in the system, another year in the program, another year with Tank, and another year with Coach J-Mo and Coach King.
Can I just ask you about the photo shoots, unofficial visit weekend? Like, how has that changed in the time that you've been doing this? What do you think that's important to some of these kids? It's changed a bunch, right? That's like the main thing that all the guys want to do, and it's cool. Like you get a chance to, sort of quote unquote be like a celebrity for that visit, and they have fun with it. Our recruiting department has done a great job of just staying on the cutting edge and being trendy and for lack of a better word, like being sexy, right? Like that's one thing that Illinois' recent history that has been a hard sell. But if you come and you show that you're on the cutting edge and on the forefront of what's popular and what's trendy, then it leads to prospects believing in what you're trying to preach and what the culture is, and it's been fun to see those in these weekends and see how the guys have reacted to it.
Coach, a year ago, your defense was new to the teams you're playing. This year, second year, do you have to do things to kind of change it up so they don't expect what's coming?
Yeah, you are ever evolving, from year to year, from week to week. Your personnel changes, the opponents, they change, their personnel changes. So, from a general perspective, we'll look similar, look the same. But there's always tweaks, week in and week out and from year to year.
Brett mentioned the change in the summer that is allowing the coaches to get out and actually coach their players.
Yeah.
Just how much can even 30 minutes on the grass do in June?
I mean, it's pivotal. Like you get a chance to really hone in on some techniques and some situational stuff. And really for the younger guys, like the incoming freshmen, or if you got transfers that come in, that gives you a chance to work with them more closely and get them prepared, for fall camp and off into the season. And it's just good for us to be around the guys. You get so close with the players, and you spend so much time away, during spring recruiting, to be able to come back in the summer and really dive into getting back around them and getting the coaching on the field. That's the fun part of this job, is to coach, and so to be able to do that is awesome.
With those freshmen and transfers that arrive in the summer, like what's the difference going to be in when camp starts, where maybe you don't have to go through this period of maybe an adjustment and kind of getting them ready?
Yeah, you speed up the acclimatization process, and we're able to dive into more scheme and instead of just primarily technique.
What's unique? You've been part of a couple staff, a couple head coaches. What's unique about the staff's official visit approach so far that you've seen?
It's like all genuine. Like we've got, like I've been saying, we've got really good people in this building, and we preach family, but it's not just for show. It's really what we are, what we're all about, what Coach B's all about. And so when you get that leadership from the top down, it feeds into your program. And I think prospects, and parents they're not stupid. They can feel what's genuine, what's not, what's real, what's not. And so the consensus has been, what you see is what you get out of Illinois.
Did you and Barry live with you when he first got hired for a little bit?
No, he was in the hotel. I spent a lot of time with him on the golf course though. His golf game is nice.
Is
Yeah, he spends. I'd say he probably needs to spend more time when No, I'm just kidding. He's an ex-quarterback, man. Those guys are good at everything.
Coach, seems like there's going to be a position battle at nose tackle when camp starts. Who are the guys that are repping at that spot?
Yeah, I mean, there are big position battles all over the place. Your job is rented. It's not owned, and rent is due every day. So, competition is going to be pivotal. You got Calvin, you got Vertus, you got T-Rod. And hopefully we get some guys coming in the fall too as well to provide depth and competition at that low spot.
Did you find in the spring that physically and athletically CJ Park was back to where he was a year ago before the injury?
Yeah, you saw him just kind of getting over that mental hurdle in the spring of trusting that it was healed, and you saw flashes, and now watching him run around in workouts, he's back, if not better than he was pre-injury.